Let's do this. How were you introduced to Perazim?
I was scrolling through Instagram and I followed Preston Perry, and I heard that Preston was going to be in Minneapolis.
It was due to Snapchat, so shout out to Snapchat.
That's actually how I had no idea about Perazim prior to that, but I heard he was going to be at this church called Perazim, and so then I was like, cool. So then my friends went and then came back, and we're all kind of like, oh my gosh, like, you have to check this out. This was a really great experience.
I had a friend named Effie. She's from Missouri. She's in Dallas right now. She was Snapchatting Perazim Church Glory Conference, and you guys were all at a bowling alley. She was hyping you guys up. So I was like, I want to check them out. So
We felt God really draw us to this community. Oh, baby. Yeah, 2 years later, we felt a heavy draw to this area, and we loved the vision of Perazim Church. I think out of anything, the biggest pull here was that Perazim does church for real.
Next time it worked out, me and my friend Sarah came to Perazim, and it was, I would describe it as and I don't want to project, but I feel like it was a breath of fresh air in terms of what a Christian church can look like.
coming from an Ethiopian background, an African background, I'd already had an expectation in a bar where I was like, I might not get accepted, there might be cliquey, I might get judged. I didn't know. I had a guard up. That's all I had. But I was like, I'm gonna go there with confidence, and I'm just, I miss church. I miss church setting, and I also just wanted, I wanted a fellowship with Christ more and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna go. So when I came, it was the complete opposite of what I expected.
For me to even become a Christian, it's the love the people poured into me from that community that brought me to know Christ. The people that I was surrounded by that really cared for me, poured into me, that brought me to that community.
Everybody was so genuine and friendly, and I know that sounds crazy because we're talking about a church, but it's for real. Everyone just wanted open arms, and it just made us feel really at home, honestly.
I have, been part of specific churches that are loving the best way that they can and supportive the best way that they can. However, the first time that I walked into Perazim, I felt like I was more comfortable that first time than I was the 100th time walking into the church I had been going to. And so I can't really speak to as why that was, but I also know that was the feeling the moment I walked in, and I hadn't even talked to anyone yet.
What I love most about our church is you can't put us in a box. We're different, from fashion to interests and hobbies to giftings. I feel like you just can find anyone and everyone here. And whether it's form, style of worship, even the things that we get excited about. I remember one time, this was maybe 2-3 months into our church plant, there was a young man that came to visit our church, and after service, he came up to me and he was like, I'm really confused by you guys. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He said, I'm coming in and you guys are playing hip-hop pre-service. You guys then are playing contemporary worship for worship. Your messages or the sermons seem reformed, and then afterwards you guys are playing gospel music as we're socializing. You guys got young people, you got old people, you got white people, you got Ethiopian, you got black people. I can't figure you guys out. And I think, that's what makes us, I think that's what the church should look like.
When I'd read Acts, especially when Jesus just left them, and how they had to really get down and dirty, and help one another when it came to gifts and serving and stuff. I wanted to experience all that.
For me, at first, I just thought being Christian was very basic. There's nothing more to it. But as I started going to the community, I realized being a Christian is a big calling. There's more to it than just saying I'm Christian. Living a life that glorifies God in every aspect of your life, at home, at church, at workplaces, really made me be more intentional about how I live my life. Not only that, just even cultivating my gift, like wanting to teach and stuff like that. That gave me an opportunity where I can cultivate that gift.
So I'm a singer. You know, I was gifted with a voice, and I asked God to give me a voice when I was like 6 years old because I heard this incredible woman sing, and I was like, Lord, you know, if you give me a voice, I'll sing for the rest of my life. I'll sing for you only for the rest of my life. And then, so you know, growing up in an Ethiopian community, once they found out I could sing, you know, I was given the opportunity to worship. But then, you know, as I grew, I got into teenage years and into an adult life. I kind of think I took that for granted. I really didn't understand what it really meant to be able to, and whether it's worship, whether it's hospitality, when you're serving, it's not just an act, it's not just a role.
So Perazim has played a key role in terms of like my understanding of who God is in Scripture, and in relation with people, in relation to how I view myself too.
I think when I came to Perazim, seeing the vision and everything, my heart was different. I was like, I want to really do this because, you know, I want to understand. I really want to do this because it's to serve Him. You're changing other people's lives. Not only that, but you're changing your own life in while doing the act.
I think in one season of my life, I'd be okay with just reading the Bible. But now I understand that like it's more than just my verse a day keeps the devil away.
It's made me really like realize like that, like kind of like what you said, a verse a day keeps the devil away kind of thing. Like it makes me really like want to dig deeper into the word, like not just read a verse and just see it, but like the way that the theology kind of is at Perazim is how I want to kind of learn and dig deeper into it.
I feel like the interactions that I've had, always, the individual I'm talking to in those interactions is always pointing back to Christ every time, which I appreciate so much, because I know how much I like the adulation that you can get from other people. And so when I see that turned and kind of just pointed right back to Christ and said, no, it's not me. This is Christ doing this, God's doing, and this is for Him. I think is super refreshing and encouraging because it's just a constant reminder that that's what all of our actions should be for.
Perazim has helped us countless times since we've been here.
True.
Between coming here and not really knowing anybody, and now finding people that we call family, that our boys can call uncles, that are brothers and sisters to us. There have been a few difficult times where I've even lost a job, or we didn't know where we were going to live, and people just stepped up and were like, how can we help you? In what areas can we pray for you? And I even remember the one most distinctly was this little one was actually premature.
Like the beginning of June this year, my dad had a heart attack, and he was admitted to the hospital, and I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know, because for the majority of the time I'd be preaching about like, yo, life is gonna be hard. You gotta go to God. He's gonna sustain you through it. But when you're in it, it was completely different. Like, I didn't know how to handle it. And in that time, I couldn't see him because of COVID. So it made it even very much harder for me to just like be okay. Like, I was questioning God, like, why would you allow this? I'm here trying to serve you.
And when our church family heard about that, they just wanted to go ahead and like rush towards us to help as much as possible.
But having community around me that said, hey, Sam, I know it's hard. I know you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we're going to hold your hand. Like, we're going to pray for you. We're going to stand with you. So that played a key role in this season for me, because I was going through it. I was like, dang, maybe I should even walk away, man. God is not doing anything right now. I felt like I was in the fire, like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. But I didn't feel like God was with me, so people had to come to remind me that He is with me.
Literally dropped anything they could for us at that time, like, because we technically didn't have anybody for Isaiah to watch, so it was like called up someone in Perazim, and she came right over and was like within what, an hour of when
Yeah.
we were like, hey, this is happening. So yeah, it was, we had open arm. We felt like we didn't have to worry, like that everything was kind of taken care of, and we could take care of this little one coming into the world.
Because one, we care about their growth, we care about their relationship with God, we care about what their calling. We want them to make disciples, not just be content with where they're at or stagnant in where they're at, but to keep growing, challenging them. So not a lot of communities have that in terms of where they get challenged, poured into, loved on, and discipled. So I feel like Perazim is a perfect church where you get discipled, poured into, loved on, and commissioned.
If you're tired of traditional religion, if you want to actually know what real love is like, you get that at Perazim.
Yeah, there's true love for everyone. I feel like there's no barrier or you know what I mean. Like everyone is loved, no matter who you are.
The word says, Jesus said that they'll know your mind by how you love each other. In this community, there's no doubt that we love Jesus, and an expression of that is how we love each other.
I think people should come be part of a church. I remember when we were having launch team meetings before we launched Perazim, something that I was saying constantly was, God calls us to be a part of a local church. It might not be Perazim. And though I would love and appreciate people to come and be a part of Perazim, as a pastor, my heart really is, I want to see people committed to the church, period. God's plan A is the church.
If you're looking for a home, a place where you're not gonna, you feel like you don't want to get judged, because I know that's the first thing at the same time for me when I was first coming, where you feel like you're gonna get judged or stuff, come to Perazim, because above all, we're trying to be like Christ. We're really, really striving to be like Christ. He's the ultimate goal, so that's all you need. And we're doing our best. We're not perfect as people, like as ourselves, as whether it's, I know my pastor's not perfect, I know my worship leader's not perfect, I know my friends are not perfect, but again, we're striving to be like Christ, and we'll love you, and we'll support you in whatever you need support with, and on top of that, we'll grow with you. We're not a church that has everything together. We don't have we don't have our own flashy building, or have the latest equipments, but we have love, and no matter who you are, I don't know what your name is or where you came from, but we have love for you. So if you're wanting a family, doesn't matter what color, skin, language you speak. If you can't even, speak English, man, we'll figure out what language you speak. We'll speak to you. So yeah, just come through to Perazim Church.